Well, at the moment, we seem to have a disconnect between the obvious statements that you heard from President Trump that are being consistent with his pattern, his opinion of what has gone on in this macabre affair, and also what is going on with regards to other politicians, notably the ones that we mentioned in that report. Senator Lindsey Graham, Senator Rand Paul are Republicans. Now, Lindsey Graham, he's someone who was against Trump initially when Trump was running. He has backed him on other issues. He's now obviously against him on this issue because the words coming out of these Republican senators certainly are very strong, damaging U.S. relations. Irrational, unhinged, which was what Lindsey Graham said of the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. So we have a situation where Trump does not seem too happy with what is going on with regards to what is coming out from the CIA. He says there's going to be a full report, but other people who possibly he could have counted on for support in the Senate are now coming out very strongly, saying that Saudi Arabia still bears responsibility, and the responsibility for the death of Jamal Khashoggi goes all the way to the top.
And then you have the State Department, of course, tempering all of that, saying that while they're going to hold Saudi accountable, they also want to maintain their strategic, important relationship. You know, Saudi keeps changing their narrative on this. Turkey has been continuing to push Riyadh for answers. Are they getting any?
No. Well, they're getting some answers, but the answers are changing. As you know, it's been 7 weeks tomorrow since Jamal Khashoggi walked into that door behind me at the Saudi consulate here in Istanbul and was never seen again. And since then, the Saudi regime has flip-flopped on what has happened. Baseless allegations, they said initially, nothing to do with us. Then they admitted a killing, as we put in that report, down to a fist fight. But the pressure has been cranked up consistently, slowly, by the Turkish government as well regarding what went on, because this may be the Saudi consulate, but of course they regard it obviously as being on their patch on Turkish soil. It's caused great offence. The latest development over the weekend, this was at a defence meeting in Canada at a security conference where Hulusi Akar, the Turkish defence minister, was speaking, was that he believed that Khashoggi had been dismembered. That is something which I think has now been accepted from the various reports and audio recordings that are doing the rounds of various Western governments over the last couple of weeks, but that the remains were spirited out of Turkey, out of Istanbul, in diplomatic bags where there is cover, there is diplomatic immunity. So again, it is a pattern of pressure being put on Saudi Arabia, and you have to say that a wedge has been driven, quite a clear wedge, between the United States and ostensibly one of its main allies, Saudi Arabia, who, don't forget, is at the crux of their plans for the Middle East. They've seen them as a definite, stable partner right up until 7 weeks ago when Jamal Khashoggi walked into that consulate behind me.